everyone, welcome to this video about a speech evaluation guide. This is part 2 in a series where we've already talked about in one video about how do you prepare for a speech evaluation. Now you're actually going to the meeting, so what do you do with this exercise at a Toastmasters meeting? So when you arrive, find the person that you are going to be evaluating. So they should already have their manual with them. So if they are speaking from the Competent Communicator Manual or any one of the advanced manuals, they should have brought it with them. However, if they do not have the manual, hopefully your club will have a place where you've deposited all of these different evaluations so that you could have printed that out before you actually went to the meeting. So one way or the other, either get it from the person who's giving the speech, or you can bring your own printed copy from whatever repository you have. Have your own notes about what you are listening for and watching for. So the beauty in being able to do a little bit of prep work ahead of time is that you've read through the requirements, the objectives, and what the evaluation form is looking for, and you have decided for yourself the things that you'll be honing in on. And also ask of the speaker if there's anything that they want you to watch or listen for in particular. So sometimes a person may say, I really want to get an assessment of how well I do my call to action or something like that. So pay attention if they have something in particular that they want you to look for. Also, you as a speech evaluator can be evaluated as a speech evaluator. So bring your own competent leader manual so that you can hand it to someone and be evaluated on how you do your speech evaluation. Or you can just bring a copy of that evaluation form with you and give it to them and let them know if there's something in particular that you would like for them to look for. For example, one of the things that is just a personal pet peeve, it doesn't necessarily mean that everybody should watch for this, but I tend to try not to just talk to the speaker when I'm giving a speech evaluation. I figure everyone can learn from what I have observed in a speech evaluation. So one of the things that I want people to look for is, did I, yes, talk to the speaker, but did I also broaden up my conversation to the entire audience? And so by doing that, I give the evaluator something that they're looking for if they haven't already developed it themselves. Plus, by asking them to look for something, I'm actually consciously thinking about my own personal development in this area. So, during the actual meeting, you should not have any other roles. That's pretty much a given for any role, but sometimes Toastmasters meetings can be fairly small, so sometimes you have to double up on roles. But as much as possible, the speech evaluator should not have another role. Listen to the speaker, take notes, as long as it doesn't distract you from listening and observing. And then after the speech is done, focus on preparing your... Then when the speech is done, focus on preparing your feedback. Keep the speaker in mind, and also think about what can be educational and informative to the whole club. Now, your actual evaluation, the timing will be between 2 to 3 minutes. Now, this is a very short period of time, and I have seen a lot of times people take a little longer than 3 minutes. Sometimes I've seen evaluations go around 4 minutes in a Toastmasters Club meeting. However, you're intending to distill down major points of emphasis, and you may only be able to cover maybe 2 things, maybe 3 things in your feedback that you give to the speaker. And I like to look at not only speaking to the speaker, but also directing your comments to the whole audience. So for example, if we tend to just think of the speaker, we will say, your speech with this was great, your speech was good here, this can be improved, blah, blah, blah. But if you open it up to where you actually say things like, we can all learn from this example, that example. We can all probably gain and make better speeches focusing on this, that, and the other thing. Then that actually opens it up so that everyone is involved. Another very popular technique in Toastmasters is to use the sandwich technique, meaning you talk about some positives, you talk about some things that can be improved to make it an even stronger speech, and then you end with the thing that just knocked your socks off, the thing that you think was probably the most valuable thing that they did. And remember, the intention of a speech evaluation or evaluation of any kind is that the feedback is intended to be feedback. It's neither negative nor positive. It's just you're giving information to the speaker and to the whole audience that says, here's how I received this speech. Here are things that I thought were excellent ways of handling a speech. These are things that I think can make it even better. And you keep focusing on the positives. And as a bonus, if your club at all does any videotaping, which I highly, highly, highly recommend, because oftentimes you don't see it. I mean, you're giving the speech, you're giving the evaluation, you're doing these things, but oftentimes until you actually see it, the feedback may or may not translate as far as like what the audience saw without actually seeing a videotape of yourself. So for those brave souls out there, I highly recommend videotaping anytime you get up to speak. Now, at the end of the meeting, hand that manual back to the speaker containing your feedback. Have a conversation if you wish. And the speaker may actually want to talk to you a little bit further about some of the feedback that was given. And then receive your competent leader manual back and receive that feedback from your reviewer. Oftentimes that is not something that's actually done in the meeting, but you can certainly do that afterward. So I hope this helps to give you a sense of one way of approaching speech evaluations, and that it's real important to actually do that prep work and to stay focused during the meeting so that you can provide some really relevant and crucial feedback to the person giving their speech. Thanks so much, and if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below, and I look forward to seeing you on another video.